Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, hope you are well with the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIEVS Home School. This is Fatematuj Johura, Assistant Teacher of Islamic Studies, National Ideal English Version School, Dhaka, morning shift. Dear students, today I am going to take a class for the students of class 8 on the topic of Zakat. This belongs to your chapter 2, lesson 1 and 2. The topic is Zakat. Let's start, students. You know that there are 5 basic pillars of Islam. These are Shahada, Salat, Saum, Zakat and Hajj. Among these 5 basic pillars of Islam, Zakat is one of the most. So we will discuss about Zakat today, inshallah. First, what is Zakat? Zakat is an Arabic word. It means increase, holiness, etc. According to Islamic Sharia, the distribution of a certain portion of wealth of the rich people among the poor people is called Zakat. It purifies the heart of the donor from the miserly corruption. About these things, Allah the Almighty says, وَفِي أَمْوَالِهِمْ حَقٌّ لِسَائِلِ وَالْمَحْرُومِ, meaning the poor and the deprived of course have the right over their wealth, means over the rich person's wealth. Allah says in another place of Holy Quran, وَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ, means you have to perform prayer and call people to perform prayer and you have to pay zakat. Surely zakat is a right given by Allah for the poor. It is not mercy and kindness of the rich people. Human beings cannot even imagine how much reward will be bestowed on the zakat payer in Akhirat. It is described in Hadith Qudsi. This is one of the authentic hadiths, that how much reward you will get in Akhirat, you cannot imagine these things. In another place, Allah the Gracious says, Hey Bani Adam, keep spending in my way, I will giving you from my endless treasure. Bukhari and Muslim. So you keep spending means spending, if spending in Allah's way, then you will get it returned. And it will be from the endless treasure of Allah. This is said in Bukhari and Muslim from the Hadith book. In another Hadith, it has been said that the benevolent person is near to Allah, near to heaven, near to the human beings created by Allah and away from the hell. On the contrary, the miser remains far away from Allah, far away from the humans and near to the hell. An illiterate, benevolent person is much dearer to Allah than miserly learned people, said in Tirmizi from our Hadith books. So dear students, we have understood these things, that the person who used to pay zakat, they are near to Allah, near to heaven, near to human beings, and they are far away from the hell. And the miser person who don't used to pay zakat, they are near to hell but far away from heaven, far away from Allah, far away from human beings. So like this, Quran and Hadith mention many ayahs and hadiths about the importance of zakat, nisab of zakat, time of paying zakat and the punishment of the person who doesn't give zakat if it is forced on him or her, and the reward of zakat payer, etc. So on this above discussion, we come to know that what is the definition of zakat and what is the importance of zakat according to Quran and Hadith. I hope that this is clear to all of you. Now come to the next point. This is conditions for zakat being forced. That means there are 7 conditions. Under this condition, the person will have to give zakat. If someone had the following condition, then he or she has to pay zakat once a year. According to Islamic Sharia, those who are giving zakat are called the masharif of zakat. It will be described in the next lesson. That means the person who will receive zakat, they are called masharif of zakat. And these are the condition for zakat being first. The first one is here, to be a Muslim. So non-Muslim person will not give zakat. Number 2, to own the nisab wealth. So the amount equivalent to nisab, you have to owner of this all. Then he or she will give zakat. We will describe nisab next. Now come to number 3. When amount equivalent to nisab is more than necessity. So without the necessity expenditure, the nisab equivalent money or wealth, if anybody have, he or she will give zakat. Now number 4, not to be in debt, means the person under loan, he or she will not give zakat. This is not forced for him or her. Now come to number 5, wealth owned for a year. So the amount of nisab should be owned by a person complete 1 year, then he or she will give zakat. Now come to next point. This is 6, to be mentally sound. So a mad people or mad person will not give zakat. It's not forced for a mad person. Number 7, to be mature. So immature person or people will not give zakat. These are the condition for zakat being forced. Under this condition, if anybody comes, he or she will give zakat. This is clear to you, I hope that. Now come to next point. This is called nisab of zakat. Then we will know that what is nisab of zakat. Nisab is an Arabic word that means a fixed amount. The amount is 7.5 tolas of gold or 52.5 tolas of silver or the wealth worth of its value. So this is called nisab. So the nisab means is fixed amount, but the fixed amount is this 7.5 tolas of gold or 52.5 tolas of silver or the wealth worth. These are called nisab. If anybody have this amount of wealth or this gold or silver, this is called nisab. Okay, then so this fixed amount is called nisab. If anybody has this fixed amount or nisab complete 1 year after meets his necessary expenditure, he has to pay zakat. This is first for him. So if anybody have this fixed amount, that means he or she will be called Shahib-e-Nisab. Next point, this is come to the next point. So after the necessary expenditure, if anybody has the amount of Nisab at the end of the year, he or she is called Sahib-e-Nisab or the owner of Nisab. Zakat is not obligatory when the wealth is less than the Nisab, but a person has to provide zakat if he or she owns wealth or Nisab at the beginning of the year and finds it for some reasons less than the Nisab within the year and again comes to own it at the end of the year. I would like to add something here that, dear students, What is nisab? You have understood these things: 7.5 tolas of gold or 52.5 tolas of silver or the wealth equivalent of these things. This is called nisab. So, this fixed amount is called nisab. If anybody have this fixed amount, then he or she will call Sahib-e-Nisab or the owner of nisab. The owner of nisab will give zakat if the amount equivalent of nisab stay with him with the complete 1 year. If it is full at the beginning of the year but less than at the middle of the year, but at the last of the year it comes again the full amount, the nisab, then he or she will give zakat. So, if you have the amount of nisab at the beginning of the year or middle of the year if it is less, and last of the year if it is come again completed, then you have to give zakat. But the nisab or the amount less than the nisab, if anybody have the amount less than the nisab, he or she don't have to pay zakat. Now, you know what is nisab of zakat and you know who will give zakat. Now, how much zakat or how much money as a zakat you will pay, you have to know these things. How much amount will be paid as a zakat? The owner of nisab will give zakat 1/14 portion of the gold or silver or the wealth. The amount of zakat will be 1 portion from the 14 portion of the wealth. So, it will be 1 portion from the 14 portion. So, the owner of the nisab will be give 1 portion from the 14 portion of nisab. Okay? Then this is the amount of zakat you have to pay. Remember this, that to pay zakat is farz. So, if anybody violate any farz of Islam, then he or she will not be a true Muslim, or he or she will call a kafir. If he deny the rules and regulation of Islam, he or she will call kafir. So, dear students, I hope that you have understood that how much money or how much wealth you have to pay as a zakat. Now come to next point. This is zakat for produced crops. One has to pay zakat 1/10 of the paddy, wheat, barley, dates and other crops if produced in rainwater without irrigation. Irrigation means watering system for nursing plants, and if found it excess of necessity. If it is found in excess of necessity, that means without necessity expenditure, then these crops or these cultivated crops if found, then he or she have to give zakat 1/10 of the cultivated crops. It will be 1/10, 1 portion from the 10 portion of the cultivated crops. This is called ushur. If it is cultivated with rainwater without irrigation. Now, and 1/20 of crops produced under irrigation system is subject to zakat. So, if it is under irrigation system, then he or she have to pay zakat 20th portion, 1 portion from 20th portion. So, if it is under irrigation or if it is under watering system, then you have to pay zakat from the 20th portion 1%. 1 portion you have to pay zakat if it is under irrigation system. I hope that this is clear to you. Now, from the above discussion, you would be able to give some question answer. Following question, if it is come to any CQ, from any CQ you can give the answer of this question on based your chapter 2 lesson 1 and 2. First one is what is zakat. You know that what is zakat. Zakat is holiness, increase. So, here you have gotten these things. According to Islamic Sharia, the distribution of certain portion of wealth of the rich people among the poor people is called zakat. It purifies the heart of the donor. This is the definition of zakat. Importance of paying zakat, I have described it before here with the reference of Quran and Hadith. You can find it from here. You can write it with the reference of Quran and Hadith. As you are students of class 8, you have to give the reference, then it will better for you. Come number 3. Condition for zakat being forced. So how many conditions are here? There are 7 conditions for zakat being forced. We have described it here. So you can say it easily from these things. Now come to number 4. What is the nisab of zakat? I have described it. The nisab of zakat here, the 7.5 tolas of gold or 52.5 tolas of silver, or the money or the wealth equivalent with this. If anybody have, these are called fixed amount or the nisab of zakat. Okay. Now come to the next number. Who is Shahib-e Nisab? Shahib-e Nisab is, if anybody have the amount of nisab, he or she will be called Shahib-e Nisab or the owner of the nisab. The owner of the nisab will give zakat. Now come to the next 6 number. How much amount should be paid as zakat? I described it before. You have to give the zakat, or this is here described 40 from the 14 portion, 1 portion. 1 portion you have to give the zakat from the 14 portion as a amount of zakat. I have described it here also. The owner of nisab will give zakat 1/14 portion of the gold or silver or the wealth. The amount of zakat will be 1 portion from the 14 portion of the wealth. Okay, now come to the next question. What is ushur? I had described it here. The zakat for produce crops is called ushur. You have to give this here full. One has to pay zakat 1/10 of the paddy with. This is the another question, so it will be number 8. How much amount should be paid of ushur as zakat? It is describe it here. So you have to give under irrigation. If it is under irrigation, you have to give 1 portion from the 20th portion. If it is with rainwater, then you have to give zakat 1 portion from the 10 portion. If it is with rain, cultivated with rainwater, this portion will be cultivated with rainwater, and this portion will be cultivated by irrigation. You have to give this portion, and this is from the another thing, or your wealth or gold or silver. All these things, zakat will be these things. I hope that this is clear to all of you, that what is the answer of these things. Keep practicing at home. You have to keep practice more and more, otherwise you would not be able to give the answer, and you have to read more. Dear students, perform your prayer regularly and keep fasting, because this is the month of Ramadan, and pray every day. Don't forget to pray every day and abide by your parents. This is all for today. I hope that we have understood, and we will be practice at home. Thank you. That's all for today. Assalamu alaikum.